as the number of people in the group, as the group size increases, the likelihood of any one person helping and the likelihood of the person being helped goes down. So you have this ironic, the more people that are available, the less likely it is to actually happen. What's so interesting to me about this is that this even happens when the person you're helping is yourself. So in another setup, you have participants come in, they think they're signing consent forms for a study, but the study's actually already started, and the experimenter puts smoke that's kind of wafting in under the door into the room. How long does it take before you say, oh my God, there's smoke in this room. I need to do something, right? Well, if you're the only person in the waiting room, you're very likely to get up quickly. Whereas if there's many people in the waiting room, each person is less likely to do anything. And so some of the old tape of this, you have participants, waving smoke out of their faces, looking at each other like, okay, I guess I'm still signing my consent form, right? So this diffusion of responsibility can extend to even the responsibility that you might ordinarily feel towards keeping yourself safe in a situation. So this is one of the biggest factors in terms of the likelihood of helping behavior, which is how much is the responsibility diffused over many bystanders, is group size. But that's not the only factor that affects helping. So if we think about any behavior, the likelihood of that behavior goes down if the perceived cost of that behavior, the perceived risk of that behavior goes up. And so how do we move past that? Like, how do you overcome that bias towards not helping to encourage helping in these scenarios?
So how you try to overcome it is you try to make people feel like an individual, not just part one of many in a group. You try to make them feel like an individual, different from others, and therefore likely to have some responsibility. And we want to show a video here of one of the most influential early studies looking at how this works.
Let's take a look at the only film of a remarkable experiment conducted by psychologist Tom Moriarty at a beach in New York City. The man on the right is going to pretend to steal a radio from a member of the research team. Now notice the reaction of the people nearby. Nothing. But what if the victim asks her neighbor a favor to keep an eye on the radio? What then? With a simple request, a special human bond is forged and personal responsibility established. Want to convert apathy to action? Try asking for it.
Okay, so this technique is something you've probably used before, right? Like if you were at the library or you're at a coffee shop and you need to go to the restroom or you need to go make a copy of something, and then you don't want to get up, you don't want to pack up all your stuff. You might have turned to someone and be like, hey, can you watch my stuff for a second? I'm just gonna run to the restroom really quickly, right? What are you doing in that situation? You're making it clear that if someone takes this, my stuff, while I'm gone, I need help. Help is needed. And you're also reducing that diffusion of responsibility by sort of gathering it up and assigning it to one person, right? Like you are now, I'm now asking you to take responsibility as an individual for intervening in case something has happened.
Making clear what help is needed,
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
I want you to do something and this is what I want you to do.
Yeah,